Hey everybody, so I wanted to take a minute to talk about the top three things that insurance companies use to underpay claims or to keep their payout to a minimum at the very least. Probably number one is going to be your data loss. If you don't have a good data loss, or the data loss isn't real solid, or if you're not exactly sure when the hail happened and maybe you were traveling or you were out of town, your insurance company is going to ask you when you call it in, or they're going to ask you and the contractor when you guys call it in, when did it happen? Your response might be, I'm not exactly sure. And then, for example, they may use today's date as the data loss. Well, today it's sunny, it's not raining, weather's great, there's no hail today. It's going to cause problems down the road for your claim when everybody starts doing the research to figure out why you called in a claim on a day when the sun was out and there was no hail. So do the best you can to make sure you nail down that data loss, because insurance companies are going to use that to their advantage. They won't say it, and they're not necessarily doing it just to be ugly about it, but they will use it if it's going to get them out of a jam, which is what you're going to put them in when you want them to pay. The other thing I see is prior claims. Make sure that when you call in a claim, if you have a claim and it has legitimate damage, you need to call in a claim because that's what your insurance company is there for. But if you have prior claims that might complicate this claim, let's say you get a contractor that's going to help you with a hail claim, and they help you call in a claim, and you had a hail claim last year, but you don't tell the contractor that. In Texas, for example, you have 2 years. We can help you if you're within 2 years of filing your last claim or your last denial. There's a couple of different ways that works. But if you have something like that, you've got a prior claim and they came out and they extended some coverage to it, then you might end up with a problem down the road. Insurance company's going to look back and go, whoa, sure, you got damage and you need a new roof because your roof is old, but the damage you have today is from the claim you filed last year. So they're going to kind of play games like that for you. So just be aware of that when you call it in. Obviously, insurance is there if you need them, and if you have a legitimate claim and you have new damage, you need to call in a new claim and get some help. Probably the third thing that I run into the most is going to be unrepaired damages. Insurance company comes out after you file a claim, you have damage to your roof or to your home, and maybe you have some interior damage. If you don't make those repairs because you disagree with the insurance company's estimate, that's a little different situation in that you need to get some help with that claim, right? But if you don't make those repairs and you file another claim the following year because you have new damage, then your public adjuster or your contractor that's going to help you as much as they can with your claim is probably going to have a hard time with the insurance company, because the insurance company is going to be able to hide behind that prior claim and the prior damages and say, okay, yeah, those damages aren't related to this claim, those are old damages, therefore anything new that you have going on at the roof isn't really new because it's still the same damages from last time. So you want to be sure to as much as you can, as is reasonable, take care of those prior repairs, or at least be prepared for that. Worst case scenario, we get them approved all the time where you had $500 or $600 worth of prior damages in a prior claim and they're unrepaired. We'll get this claim approved and they'll deduct the $500 or $600 in unrepaired damages. That's an extremely fair way of adjusting it. We don't disagree with that when insurance companies want to do it. We also think it happens to be the right way. So if you run into that, just be aware that's what you got going on if you have prior claim or prior damages that may not have been repaired. So that's what I got for today, is to just watch your dates of loss. Watch your prior claims. Be aware of what kind of claim you claimed. How long ago did you claim it? Go back and look at the date so you have an understanding. If you're under 2 years in Texas, we can help you with that claim. You don't necessarily need to file a new claim unless there's new significantly different damage, for example, that type of thing. And then you've got your unrepaired damages. Just be aware if the insurance company does come out and they do write a small estimate, even if it's below your deductible, that's not a denial, that's an underpayment. Even if it's below your deductible, then what you are probably going to have to deal with at some point is having to adjust for having been accounted for those repairs in a prior claim, meaning it'll probably be withheld from any future settlement or a new claim. So that's what I got. You guys need anything, obviously all my contact information is in my bio. Reach out, call me, text me, email me, let me know. Let me know how I can help. Literally, this is what we're here for. As you can tell, this is what we do every single day. If you need somebody to take a look at your claim or give you a review and just tell you where it's at and give you an idea how it works or what you're looking at as far as moving forward, or can you move forward, or if you move forward, we do that every single day. We can help. So just reach out to me. You can go to my contact information. It's in my bio, and we'll get you going. Thanks.